word. All right, so let's move on from a crappy Doctor Doom to another Marvel Legends figure.
We will do that.
We're all about Legends today.
And you know what? I don't collect Legends, but I bought 2 of this next one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
You want to start talking about this one, Maurer?
Yeah, I'll start talking while you unpack it. So, as we know, we have a new Gambit figure. And he seems to, I don't know if they were counting on the movie being out right about now.
Right.
He seems to be on an upswing for collectibles right now. We had the figure I just bought that had 17 companies working together on one toy.
Amazing Yamaguchi, Reveltech.
Go back to our old video. There's too many names to remember.
Number 13.
Elephant Titus.
Super articulated.
Elephant Titus.
And then we got the vinyl statues that were just released from him. And now we've got Marvel Legends taking another crack at this figure. Now, it's going to be hard for them to top their original Marvel Legends figure they did, because that was a really good figure.
That was the one by Toy Biz.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it actually had a cloth goods cape. Or, I'm sorry, trench coat.
Trench coat. That's still on my shelf over there. Still sitting on the hand from the Sentinel, and let's see how this figure comes out.
Ooh. Okay, I'm a little more impressed with this than I thought I was going to be. Because of the trench coat they used has been used multiple times in this line with Marvel Legends, and it doesn't normally. I can't get on the stand. Normally doesn't. The joints normally don't move well, but it looks like they changed the arms. So.
All right, you doing okay over there?
I'm fine. It's him. He doesn't want to stand.
Does he have weak ankles?
He needs a hot water, cold water treatment. But yeah, the old.
Explain what the hot water, cold water treatment is.
Okay, so basically, in the collecting world, if you have a joint that's really too tight and you feel like trying to move it, it might break it. Sometimes putting it in hot water will loosen the joint up, or if you take a figure out of a package and the leg or the arm is kind of warped a little bit from being in the pose they put it in the box. Again, putting a hot water like loosens it up so you can actually pose it to where you need to be. Then you put cold water on it, and it tightens everything back up.
So you're more partial to that strategy versus the blow dryer.
I am, because
He doesn't trust himself with the blow dryer.
no.
Because there are blow dryers out there where you can like hit it with the hot air and then you can hit it with cold air.
Yes.
It might work.
I personally prefer the hot water cold water treatment because all right, me personally, I will stick it in a cup of hot water, stick it in the microwave for a few seconds, just to speed up the process.
Sure.
Some of them do have metal in them. You realize that, right?
Not these.
Not these, okay. That's good, because there are some toys that have like metal pins in some of the joints.
I haven't exploded anything yet, all right? Put it to you that way.
I actually had to do the hot water treatment for Popeye last night. My Mashko Popeye fell off a high shelf. And his leg, at first I was scared because his leg was out of spot. And I was like, this is too expensive of a toy for the leg to be broken. So I went through and I did the whole... First, you have to try and get him out of the clothes,
right,
which they're in their instructions say do not remove. And now I know why, because they basically stitch them around them. Like, these aren't clothes that get put onto the Mashko figures. They're, like, stitched into the figures. But I got his hip, like, only a little piece of the socket part of it was chipped. But everything else goes back completely functional. But I'm looking for this Gambit. The one thing I will say is the head sculpt on this is awesome. It has a very 90s feel to it. It's got the longer swooping hair, like the up hair,
right,
versus the hair that hangs down at the side.
It definitely looks better than the the toy with 17 names. They have their own style.
Yeah, they have a very
figures
anime style,
right? So it's in that aspect, it's pretty cool. But this is the likeness on this is much better.
What I was saying earlier with this whole trench coat thing, the first figure they did with the trench coat was the Nick Fury, the Ultimates Nick Fury, and the arms would not go down. So I saw they were using the same trench coat. I figured probably the same arm problem, but they've had other figures they've released with the trench coat with that problem, I think they resculpted the arms finally.
And the trench coat is just it's on and it's wrapped around, but it doesn't. It's not actually on the arms.
Correct. The base part is a separate piece, so you can take that off, and it just look like you'll have brown arms.
So even the lapel is the same on all of them? Like the lapel behind the neck on all the other trench coats, is that the same on it, the Nick Fury? Because that looks like the Gambit texture in the trench coat.
The collar, you mean?
The collar,
yeah,
and the lapel.
Yeah, this whole plastic trench coat middle part is all the same.
Okay.
Just looks like they finally redid the arms, which you can actually put the arms down now straight. Because the problem with the one Nick Fury was his right arm would be straight down, the left arm would be like out a little bit. You couldn't get it like flush against the body.
Right.
Now this they definitely got the pink right. So the pink
you were
thinking,
or you were saying that the
other one was a little purple.
Yeah.
This one definitely looks like more of a pink.
Well, it has a metallic color to it too, which I think helps with it being correct.
I would love to see a first appearance character where he has like the tiger striping on his leg versus just the blocks of color on it.
Oh, does this one have? Which one does this one have?
I don't think that has any.
It's got the blocks.
Oh, it does have the blocks?
Correct.
Where originally it almost looked like tiger stripes. It was pink with black tiger strips on the leg.
I'll have to check it out. I've never seen that.
It's on the wall right over there, so you can look right now.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
So I would like that we get lots of first appearance figures. I think Gambit at this point is an iconic enough character that we would get the tiger striping or get a first appearance of him where he has the throwing like little needle things that he originally threw.
Oh yeah,
they're like little mini daggers. They look like needles.
Yep, I remember those.
But this figure looks really good. I love the attached hand with the effect on it. Huey, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, the other thing it comes with is actually like a throwing card. So you can actually put that in this hand that he came attached with. So see if I can get that in there. It's a little hard to...
Now, when you look at this hand, I'm going to stop it, or Baby Huey, if you could stop it when it's facing forward. Yep. You can actually see the cards are coming off of like the fingertips.
Go around a little more.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
And this just to me looks nice. I'm going to bring in a zoom just a little bit.
It's one of the better figures of the wave. I know we were talking earlier about how this is the one that is, the peg warmer. I hate using that term, but the peg warmer.
Right now he's a quote-unquote peg warmer. It's because he's two-to-box.
Right.
He does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece in this one. The Build-A-Figure for this wave is Caliban. And apparently, I'm not a fan of Caliban, but I guess everyone is, because people are swooping this whole wave up
yes, they are.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. A lot of it really, honestly, is for Beast.
I think Beast and Jubilee.
Yeah, the people that I've had a chance to talk to who have purchased it, a lot of them were mainly just getting that Beast because of it's been so long since there's been a Beast.
It's been since Toy Biz,
right?
Since we got since we got a '90s Beast, and people are doing the comparisons because that Beast you could put him on one arm, have him stand upside down,
right?
So people are doing the comparisons with that as well, which he can do it.
It actually it has a different type of articulation that hasn't been in some of these.
He's got the leg
recently.
pull, right?
Something.
It's a slight leg pull, and I believe. Remember last week when we talked about the Power Rangers, how they basically reversed the ab crunch? I believe that Beast has that ab crunch.
Yeah,
because I know on the it's not Diamond Select anymore, the Marvel Select that has a leg pull joint in it.
Okay.
So you can get the more dynamic. You pull it, move it, and then pop it back in.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at it, once a restock happens for me.
But yeah, this Gambit looks good. Like I said, the head sculpt. Gambit is as simple of a character that he is a harder character to get the head sculpt right, in my opinion, because of how weird you can make it look. Like sometimes they'll have the eyes, since it's the black with the red, black eye with the red in it. They look off a lot. The facial expressions can be a little dopey.
You're right.
Yeah, he's got a good serious face.
Yeah. The eyes came out pretty good, I believe.
The eyes look amazing on this, and the hair. 90s character hair is hard to look good in a figure.
Oh yeah,
especially when it's molded.
Yes.
So this has the dynamics because Gambit was an acrobatic type figure, or a character. He wasn't kind of stay around or, him moving around a lot is a big thing. So you can get some real dynamic poses in this, and it looked like it's still in movement.
Mm-hmm. There's one thing I want to point out on his leg, on the inside of his thigh. You can see there's a purple joint in there, peg. Let me see if Maurer can bring that up there. I think I stopped it right where it should be.
Yeah.
You see the one peg in there is purple, and that is because on the outside that joint is where the striping is. So for whatever reason, Hasbro has not been able to figure out how to put two different pin posts with different colors. It's all one piece. They can't figure out how to mold a different color into it.
Yeah,
this is big for like this Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's always red.
I was going to bring that up.
Spider-Man's always red on the outside, so the pin on the inside's always red.
Honestly, it probably doubles like the cost of production to do that.
It probably does. But we wish they could figure out a way to like either half color one in the molding process, or color it. So.
I'm going to say if you're a Gambit fan, buy this figure.
Oh, definitely.
Or 2.
Or 3.
A third of my basement is unboxed Gambit, Ghost Rider, and Moon Knight figures, I feel. But I do, going back, I like what they've been doing with the dynamic hands with, accessories attached to them, where you can really get that feel of something going on.
Yep.
What was it? Magneto, I think, had one. Recently,
Magneto just had translucent hands. So you can actually pop on them a effect to it.
What was the one that you had recently? You were talking.
Well, the first one they really decided to start doing stuff was Captain America. He had an attachment hand that came out with a spiral type thing. It looked like he was throwing the shield.
That's it. I like it.
Oh yeah,
I've heard some fans say they wish they would have just had an attachment so they could use the hand in their own way.
I get it. Now, I can tell you that this hand is completely translucent and it's painted. So when I was popping the hand back in there, the peg is actually the pink.
Nice.
So that is actually a pink translucent.
Are there cards in that or no?
Well, I mean, these little things are cards.
But is there a physical card inside of it, or is it translucent
It's
pink?
just this one translucent card, which fits very, very loosely in his hand. So, doesn't really stick. Are you trying to see if they're actual?
Well, I'm trying to see if they at least imprinted on it, which they didn't.
Such as squares, more or less.
Listen, give me that detail.
Maybe for $20.
I'd pay a little bit extra for it. So Mezco, you've got a Gambit coming out. Up your game on the card accessories. That is the one piece of every Gambit figure that is always lackluster. Is his energy card throwing is just so cool. I'd love to see a hand where the glow is around the hand into the item that he's throwing, like the comics.
That'd be cool.
There's just came to mind. Remember the Joker statue that same idea. It was like a card. It was a thicker cardboard.
But it was card.
But it was a card.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean that probably doesn't take that much to produce, especially when you're talking, an $80 figure.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, $20 figure, you're not going to get that detail.
Right.
Or we might have to make it ourselves because his effect isn't that hard to reproduce with some hot glue.
Did you just give Mashko a challenge?
I just gave Maurer the finger. This one, pointing at him and saying, "Remember that box of the 14 named Yamaguchi, this, that, and this, and the." It had the cards on the inside that you could actually, kind of cut out. Might be something to use.
Might be something worth trying, or printing them out. But I think getting a hand with that energy kind of coming out of it and a card inside of the energy blast, I think, is what's going to take a Gambit accessory to that oh my god level.
I could agree with that.
Sounds like those cards with some hot glue around them.
Might be something.
A little bit of paint job.
Little pink, little purple.
I think that's doable.
Splash of blue.